Okay, this is Elvis's 4th lesson in driving. Elvis, of indeterminate age, and his owner Morgan. And he's had 3 lessons. And how well did Elvis do in his 3 lessons?
He's done great.
He's done really, really well. And what kinds of things did you practice over the last week with him when you took him home?
Turning, getting us how wide the cart was, and backing up.
And backing up, and a little bit of getting him to go forward. So the couple of things we discovered about Elvis is that he doesn't back up that easily, and he doesn't go forwards when she gives a command. Both of those are equally as important when you're driving, right? 1, you've got to get going, and 2, you've got to be able to stop and back up when you need to. So we ground drove him a little bit, and now we've driven over. It's probably, what do you think, about a quarter of a mile, John? From
about that, yes.
About a quarter of a mile. We drove Elvis over from my place to the neighbors, where this is being taped. And Elvis did a great job. What was confusing to him a little bit?
Going faster uphill.
Going faster uphill. So it's like bicycling. We have to get Elvis to understand that he needs to get a little more quick in his step, either a fast walk or a slow trot, to get up a hill. It's like bicycling. You've got to be able to move up that hill or you'll get stuck halfway. So if we were going to go up a steep hill, do you want me in that cart so we have to pull my weight as well as yours? No. So I got out and I walked. How about going down a hill? You did a very steep hill on this driveway coming here. So what did Elvis have to figure out?
He had to figure out how to kind of brace himself so that he could go downhill without having to trot.
Exactly. So I also got out of the cart and went out in front of Elvis to give him some confidence, and so he didn't have to hold so much weight back. So that was just great. Was he quiet? There were 3 horses in the field as we came by, and they got a little excited when they saw Elvis. Did Elvis get excited? Not even a little bit. Okay, so we wanted to talk about a couple of new things. You were able to buy a bit, and Morgan and her mom were able to find the right size Liverpool bit for Elvis. And it has a rough side and a smooth side on the bar, and you can do it either way. She actually put the smooth side facing front. That's just fine. She chose to put the reins on the 3rd level stop. She's got 4 different strengths of her bit. She has a rough cheek, she has a cheek, upper slot, and the lower slot. So she chose the upper slot, and that has to activate this curb chain. Now, what did you learn about the curb chain, first of all? It needs to be smooth. So when you're doing a curb chain, you want to come around and watch this because this is an important thing. When I take the curb chain, it's going to be all twisted. You have to come around this side, John. You want to be able to see it. It's all twisted like that. If we put that on our pony, all those little uneven edges of metal would be pinching him in the back of his chin. So you take it and you just unfurl it and untwist all the little kinks out of it. Take it nice and smooth, go around to your other side, and then you can hook it on. Now, you want to have it so that when the reins come back, it activates, but you don't want it to be, you want to have some space in there when the reins are when the bit is hanging straight down. You want to not have the curb chain activate until it comes back. If you have a long piece of several chains that can get caught in something, you can double hook it back like that to keep that out of the way. Did it take a little bit of getting used to with Elvis and the bit?
Yeah, he didn't really get it at first, but after a couple times, he kind of got it and still kind of getting used to it.
Okay. And then another thing that we're working on is keeping Elvis straight between the shafts. Because what is Elvis's tendency to do?
He weaves.
He weaves. Because he's trying to pull, and he does like this. And it makes his job much harder, and he has to take many more steps to get to his destination. And is it a possibility that maybe a rein can get caught in a shaft, or things can kind of go wrong when he's weaving? So what did you learn to do with your hands? Massage the reins and kind of squeeze him back a little bit to bring his head. So as his head goes that way, You can massage it and bring it back. Well done. Good. So you're just making little adjustments like that keep him straight between the shafts. Did the cart get pulled more easily when he was straight?
Yeah.
Otherwise it feels like you're kind of drunk. Let's see, is there anything else in his lesson? So this lesson is really just his cross-country lesson to go on the road. And I guess that's about it. Any other? Anything we need?
Question about the he said something.
Yeah. So there was a question on whether we could. This is what holds. This is the strap that goes under the belly, which holds the tugs from going up. So that if Morgan were to start to step out the back like that, these shafts could flip straight up and just flip right off the pony. So this strap is connected down into his girth, and I think we were originally wrapping it like that, and Morgan read in one of her fine books that you could wrap it in front and behind. I'm not even sure how you did this, Morgan. I think you did do two straps, did you? There we go. And actually that is a helpful way because that keeps the tug from sliding too much forwards and backwards. As one of the other adjustments we had to make for Elvis was that the shafts were stabbing him in the neck, about right here. And he didn't like it very much. And it was very hard to turn him with it. So what we did is that we shortened the traces. We used, instead of the longest hole for the traces on the single tree, we went to the next hole up. And this is perhaps a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but it's a big improvement, right? So now that when he turns, this shaft doesn't stab into here, it goes up here and creates a barrier for him. And he can turn his shoulder then and not get stabbed in the neck. Because that's why he stopped going, right? Because when he would turn his head like that, he would get impaled by the end. So it's really important. And I actually would like this shaft to be a hair lower. It'd be a little more level if it were right about there. And we could do that by making an adjustment right here on the saddle, on the tug holders, on the back band. We could do that. So great. If you want to just film us, we're going to make a turn through here. We've got some trees. So one thing we've learned about turns, right, is you have to pretend you're a semi-truck, right? You can't just make sharp turns. You've got to make nice, big, swinging turns. So sometimes you have to go left a little bit in order to go right. And sometimes you have to go right a little bit to go left. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in. We're going to ask Elvis to walk off. And if you just film us going out the driveway, that would be great. I think you're fine.
And walk.
We have to wake Elvis up.